right, so welcome to Walker Talk episode 2. I am alone today for this episode, and it's a little bit later than I would have liked. Had a lot of technical issues tonight, unfortunately, and the camera being one of them. So I do apologize for the quality there a little bit. Not what I was expecting or what I am, wanting, but anyways, it is what it is, I guess. So, yeah, we're going to roll with it. We're going to do the show here late and by myself. Shane was going to join me again. He was with me for episode 1. Ultimately, I do want to have a variation of guests. Shane and I are big fans, and I think we both kind of are similar in the way that we enjoy the show in The Walking Dead. Both shows, really, and Fear. And so I think, we have a lot of similarities, but I also would like to find some people that, don't necessarily agree with me the same way, and, have debates and stuff like that too, which would be great for this show as well. So, yeah, in the future, I'm looking also towards more different guests and stuff like that, and also just the collaboration is great as well. So anyways, in the future, hopefully I will have a guest for almost every episode, but today I am alone, but still some cool stuff to talk about. Thought I'd give it a chance anyways, or give it a go. Yeah, so the stream should, live episode here should be good as of now, but yeah, we did have some technical difficulties going into it, which it's tough to deal with, but, it happens, right? So, kind of is what it is. But anyways, everything is looking good here with the live episode. Yeah, so let's get started. So, you know what? Actually, quite a bit of, a big news this week for The Walking Dead and the universe, per se. Because, I mean, we got a lot of stuff going into Season 9 second half right now, right? A lot of stuff. So, we have, we got, obviously kind of the spotlight of this episode, which would be the new Season 9 second half teaser video that we got from AMC. We also got, what else did we get? A few art pieces for the Season 9 second half. We got a synopsis for the second half. So a lot of stuff building here for the Season 9 second half. That was actually released just this week. I believe Thursday came the teaser. I believe it was Thursday came the teaser, so yesterday or Wednesday. And then along with that came the art, and then the synopsis we saw, I believe, on Wednesday too. So AMC just kind of flooded us here with all this new stuff for the Season 9 second half. Of course, kind of getting us hyped before the end of the year, right? Because we won't ultimately see the show until February 10th. And that's when Season 9, Episode 9, or, Season 9, Episode 9. I got a little mixed up there, but Season 9, Episode 9 returns is February 10th. And so, for that, now they're releasing all these new things. So, anyway, so let's get to the first one of these new things. And then, of course, later on, I'll talk a little bit, generally more about some other stuff with Walking Dead, a little bit of Fear the Walking Dead stuff in here. So, yeah, it should be a kind of a little bit of a packed show, but hopefully not too long here, as it is a little bit later, and I am by myself. So, not as much discussion coming today from various, people. But anyway, so let's get into the first topic for today's episode, or this week's episode, which is the new Season 9 second half Whisper teaser released. I mean, everyone was talking about this, right? Every Walking Dead fan probably saw it already. If you haven't, oh my gosh, you're missing out. Go to the AMC YouTube channel. It is up there. I believe it's their newest video right now on their YouTube channel. Check it out. It's about 30 seconds, but it is insane. It is awesome. So the actual title of the teaser, and remember, it is a teaser, it's not a trailer. We got a little bit of a trailer right after Season 9 Episode 8 aired, so that, I think, in effect, is our trailer, but no, this is a teaser, but it's still really awesome. So it's titled Whisperers, and that's the name of the thing. And then we also got, like I said, that trailer, I believe, was called New Enemy, right? And that was the whole theme of that one. And so this one's 30 seconds on the AMC channel released. And also in the thumbnail for this episode, you can see kind of a screen clip of the trailer with Alpha. So anyways, and she's kind of the star of this trailer. So of course, for comic book readers, you know who Alpha is. If you don't read the comic books, you might not know, but you will know soon enough. Episode 9, I assume that we probably will see her, or episode 10. She is, in effect, the leader of the Whisperers, and it should be very interesting to see how she comes into play here in the television series, how close they're going to follow it, and all that stuff. But anyways, so let's get back to the teaser. So the 30-second teaser, very simple, but very effective. I mean, this teaser, it's, you know, whole lot of stuff, right? It's very creepy, right? Amazing music to pair with it in the trailer, or sorry, the teaser, of course. The main whole aspect of it is Alpha really sewing together that mask, right? That, you know, walker mask that she's making, or, you know, zombie mask that she's putting together, sewing it up at the back, and then actually putting it on her face, putting it on her head, and that's how the teaser ends, with her now putting it on her head and then looking directly to the camera in this mask. And let me tell you, it is crazy. It's just, you know, it's horror, it's creepy, but it's also, especially if you're comic book fans, you're like, you know, this is awesome, right? Like, this is just great that we are getting to see this play out on screen, which is something, I mean, before season 9, some people thought they might even skip the Whisperers in the television series, right? I mean, that was a serious thing that a lot of people believed in, that they might even just skip over the Whisperers because of how difficult it would be to portray them in a show and on the screen. Because, of course, you know, a lot of people kind of forget this at times, but you have to remember, comic book panels are a lot different than TV, you know, the screen. So, anyways, I'm so glad they didn't, though, right? I'm so glad they didn't. I think everyone is. The Whisperers are a group that definitely need to be explored. It would have been nice to see Rick still around for them, but, you know, that's a whole different talk. But anyways, yeah, so teaser, really great. So, like I said, very creepy. Some great music going along with it as she's sewing this mask together. And, yeah, very simple, but very effective. I mean, 30 seconds long, maybe about 32 seconds long. And, you know, again, it's just her sewing together a mask. Very nice background, though. And they do a really great job of keeping things really dark, so you can't see kind of the full picture. And you also get a very nice, you know, shadow along with her, and especially when Alpha is at the very end of the teaser, you know, this light is kind of shining behind her and kind of illuminating her, you know, above the background, and it just looks really great. So, you know, just something so small, 30 seconds long, and we see a character that we haven't even met yet in the series, and this is such an effective teaser. So, I wasn't expecting it. Maybe some people were, but I was not expecting this teaser. But like I said off the top, you know, getting this around this time does make sense because, you know, again, we're seeing the show on February 10th, so they got to give us something here before the end of the year, so then, you know, in 2 months, we'll come back and watch that, and they're really pushing the Whisperers. That, I think, is going to be the main focus here in the second half of Season 9, and probably into Season 10. Shane and I discussed that last episode. We both think it'll be at least until the first half of Season 10, till we see the Whisperers, you know, kind of exit the show. And it's going to be great. But you know what? And Samantha Morton, she looks awesome. So she's playing Alpha, if you didn't know. And I believe her casting announcement was announced in the summertime. And she is great. She's a great actress, but she's looking amazing as Alpha so far. Of course, we only really see her in this teaser with the mask on. So we'll have to see how she looks without the mask on. If you know, if and when we'll see that in the show, I assume we will. But it's crazy. So, you know what? Maybe I'm, like, focusing too much on this 30-second teaser. Yeah, I'm kind of blowing out of proportion, but it was still really cool. And again, for comic book fans, to finally see this on screen is insane. And it looks like just everything looks really great with them. I mean, this could be much worse. Like, let's just be honest, right? I mean, it does look really, really great. And the way that they're pushing the Whisperers now is great. And you know, the teasers that they now put out, and even the end of Season 9, Episode 8 was really great in the way they introduced the Whisperers with that. So, you know what? Really great teaser here. Samantha Morton's looking great as Alpha. Can't wait to see her in the show. Yeah, great music, such creepy music. And another thing with this teaser is, have we seen a teaser like this that has been this kind of scary and this type of, you know, of a horror feel to it? I don't know if we have. I mean, maybe you have to go back a little bit, maybe to the Negan premiere, maybe, right, with the whole eeny, meeny, miny, mo thing, but this is something that we haven't really seen before, especially in a teaser, and the music, man, just everything, it was awesome. So we're getting back to the horror in The Walking Dead, and a bunch of people talked about after the season 7 premiere about kind of the outrage and controversy, and even AMC, I think, kind of caved to it and told them, like, you know, you got to cut out the gore for the next, 2 seasons, pretty much. But now it looks like they're just kind of throwing that to the wind, and going on with this Whisper, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of gore, a lot of horror now coming back to the show, and it's great. It's great to see, and I think that's maybe one of the things that has put the show down a couple pegs in the last couple of years, has been the lack of horror and gore that people grown to love in the first couple seasons or first few seasons of the show, especially with season 6, No Way Out, at JSS. I mean, those are episodes packed with gore and horror, with those huge zombie herds, right? And to me, I mean, season 6 is the best season of The Walking Dead, and those two are some of the best episodes of The Walking Dead. So, you know what? I think it's great that they're getting back to it. So, anyway, so that is the teaser stuff there. Crazy stuff. Like I said, if you haven't seen it, I don't know what you're waiting for. You got to watch it. It's about 32 seconds, like I said. Just simple. I actually first saw it on Instagram, on the Walking Dead Instagram page, and then Twitter, and then, of course, to the YouTube channel. I've watched it like 4 or 5 times now. It's pretty great. And I mean, some people may be unhappy that we didn't get to see any of the other characters or anything like that in a teaser like this, because like I suspect, I think it will be the last one of 2018. But I'm sure we'll get a trailer in January, or another teaser at least, depicting more of the other characters in the show and not just, Alpha in this one. But, I was pretty happy with it. Honestly, I mean, yeah, you could have shown a little bit more, but it was good. I think for a 30-second teaser, I don't think you could have, I don't think you could have done any better. So it was really great. So, anyways, and I think it is Alpha. I think everyone's kind of agreeing with that. I don't think AMC confirms that in the teaser, but I think everyone is kind of agreeing with that. If you look at pictures of Samantha Morton, you do kind of see the similarities there. But of course, she'll be, done to the, all this makeup, right, as Alpha. But anyways, so that is that for the teaser. Again, check it out if you haven't already. Really great. And if you have seen it, what do you think of it? Did you love it as much as me? Were you expecting a little bit more, or were you even expecting a teaser at all? Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that one. So, now, along with this teaser was released new art. So new key art for The Walking Dead, kind of advertising the date it was coming back, right? And so I got 3 pieces. That's all I could find. I think there was maybe up to 5, but I'm not positive. But these were the 3 that I saw the most on, articles and AMC website too, being advertised. And so these were all released on the same day that this teaser came out. The same type of theme with these Whisper pictures, and the look of it too is very similar. So here we go. I thought I'd show off these 3 pieces of art and briefly maybe talk about them a little bit. And if you haven't seen these already, then this would be cool for you. If you have, then maybe, just talking a little bit more about it. So here we go. So here are the pictures for the season 9 second half release. A little bit of advertising, I suppose, in here as well. All right, so these are the 3 pictures. Creepy, right? Creepy. So really great stuff. So it seems as though this first one here, which is on the very left, with the person, holding up the, thing with the finger there, right, on the mouth. It looks like that is Alpha. And it looks like Alpha because in the teaser, if that is Alpha, which I think we all assume, it looks very similar to the person in the teaser. So I think that is Alpha. And I believe this was actually taken from a bigger picture. And so this is kind of like a reduced size, of that one, but really great, right? It says the date there on the top, February 10th, The Walking Dead, and you get that thing of Alpha with the walkers kind of in the background looking around, and she's just kind of, out there, quieting you to not give them away, I think is the thing there. So then in the second one here to the right, towards the top here, we have, it looks to be Beta. Now, some people are, going around with theories about facial hair and all this stuff, but I think that is beta. I could be wrong, but that's my assumption here. So I think that is beta in that picture. I don't think it's alpha because the eye color doesn't match up and it just doesn't look like the same person. But anyway, so I think that's beta. Again, February 10th, Walking Dead, and it looks like they're going with a yellow color for this season 9 second half for the title logo. So that's interesting as well. And, yeah, just another great one, holding up, saying, shh, quieting you down, of course, with the whole whisper theme as well, that fits in. So, really great stuff there. That one looks great. And then maybe the best one, maybe my favorite one, is this bottom one, which I believe is the banner right now on AMC's website. And this is great. So, essentially, it's just a bunch of walkers, right, normal walkers in this picture, in this banner. And then you see the one that stands out there, and I'm not sure if that's Alpha. It might be Lydia even, that's wearing that whisperer mask, of course, and again with the motion there, and quieting you down with the whispers and all that stuff. And of course, she's the one that's in the little herd there, and she doesn't, of course, want to be exposed. She's kind of hiding in with the rest of the herd. And to be honest, like I didn't even see her at first with holding up her finger there. If you look at this, just a real quick glance, you probably don't even notice her. That's what's so great about this. And, yeah, it's really great. And you see the smoke in the background, too, with all the other walkers. So, really great stuff. So, you know what? I love this. I love these pieces of art, too. I mean, these are great. All going with the same type of theme, right? The date, obviously, that's a big thing. Kind of letting fans know when the show's coming back. And, pushing the whisper stuff. Really great artwork here, and great advertising for AMC. So, again, I may be blowing this one out of proportion. And you know what? If it wasn't the whispers, I probably wouldn't be talking about it like this. But it's the whispers, right? And the art is so cool, capturing that theme of the whispers and that horror. Just great to see. So, you know what? Teaser. Then the 3 pieces of advertisement, art piece, and again, there might be a couple other ones out there, but those are the 3 that I've seen the most and kind of wanted to talk about the most. So anyways, that is the art then for season 9 second half, and you know what, the job, or the objective of a teaser or an art piece is to get you hyped, right? And also, let you know when the show's coming back. And I think they do that amazingly. I mean, it really gets me hyped for season 9 second half. Yeah, I'm really hyped now, and I really am excited to see the Whisperers. So on that aspect, I think they did a really great job, and I think they achieved their objective completely with the teaser and the art. So then, lastly, along with this big release for season 9 second half here this week, we also got a new synopsis for the season 9 second half, which is, of course, it's kind of broad. It doesn't really go into detail, no spoilers or anything, of course. But it is just interesting, so I will read it now from FanFest News, this article. And so they have it here in their article with the synopsis, but of course AMC releasing this one along with those others. So here we go. So FanFest News says, a brand new synopsis for the second half of the season teases disturbing and terrifying trouble ahead as we dive deeper into the world of the Whisperers. So here is the synopsis. So, quote, the second half of The Walking Dead Season 9 finds our groups of survivors, both old and new, continuing to deal with the impact of events that took place during the 6 years that have passed. So this is important. Since the disappearance of Rick, many of these characters have become strangers to each other, and in some ways, strangers to themselves. What they do know is that they are in undeniable danger. They will soon realize the world just beyond does not operate as they thought. The group's rules and ways of survival no longer guarantee their safety. A whole new threat has crossed their paths, and they soon discover it's unlike any threat they have encountered or endured before. The group will start to question what they think they see. What may appear to be normal in this post-apocalyptic world could actually be more disturbing and terrifying than when the apocalypse first broke out. All that is certain is the stakes are high and numerous, unquote. So that is the synopsis there. Again, you know, obviously pretty broad, doesn't give us away anything, but basically saying, you know, the stakes are going to be high. This is something they've never seen before. They're going to start questioning what they are seeing, as we saw in the Season 9, Episode 8, mid-season finale. That was basically the whole theme of it, right? That they were, you know, questioning what in the hell was going on, right? Like, why are these, you know, walkers not behaving like walkers, right? And so that whole thing, and definitely they're going to play on that whole theme in the Season 9 second half. You know, I'm kind of worried, though, because I hope that they don't play on that just the whole 8 episodes. You know, I don't think they will, but I'm just kind of worried if that's the whole theme. It's like, well, that's going to get a little bit tired after a while, because, especially because we know what they are, or at least maybe not everybody, but at least comic book readers, and if you follow the show closely, you know what they are, and you know the whole thing behind them. And so I think that might get old pretty quick. So hopefully they don't do something like that. But, you know, I am confident that they won't. But I think for sure, at least the first couple episodes, that's going to be still a big theme there. And I'm trying to figure out what the hell these things are, how do they operate, and all that stuff. And of course, as we see in that teaser trailer that we've gotten before, with the Whisperers kind of arriving there at the hilltop, that's going to be a crazy confrontation there. So, yeah, we'll have to see. But yeah, overall, I mean, the synopsis is pretty broad, right? It doesn't give anything too much away, but it does also include an important part here where it says, continuing to deal with the impacts of the events that took place during the 6 years that have passed. Now, that doesn't have to do with the Whisperers, right? And that's, I think, kind of the B plot point that we're going to see in this second half, is what the hell happened in this 6 years, especially to Alexandria and Michonne and Daryl with the scars and that stuff, right? And like I've said, I think I did a theory video on my other channel. You know, I talked with Shane about this last episode too. I think Oceanside has something to do with it, but we'll have to see. Also looks like that teaser trailer, to go back to that, Michonne is seen in a flashback scene. Just a quick second little break there in that teaser trailer, but she is in a flashback because her hair is the same as it was before. So we know that something happened in this 6 years to separate these groups, and I feel like that is definitely going to be a secondary plot point in this second half, especially because they emphasize it here in the synopsis. So, and that's something I'm really actually looking forward to finding out about and learning what happened, because it seems like it was something pretty big. And again, I think it has everything to do with Oceanside, but yeah, so we'll have to see if I'm right about that one. But anyways, really great synopsis here. Again, pretty simple, pretty broad, but you know, it's again, just all goes with this kind of hype thing, you know, getting you hyped for the second half of Season 9. So anyways, that will then just about do it with all these new releases this week. For the second half. So new synopsis, new art, and new teaser trailer. And to be honest, I didn't expect any of these three before the end of the year. So AMC, Walking Dead, is keeping me happy, at least for now. And like I said, I am expecting a little bit more in the new year with maybe a teaser or, you know, another trailer, something like that. We'll probably get a little bit more art in terms of course, you know, Daryl and you know, our survivors. Because this art is only the Whisperers, right? And, I mean, yeah, that's a huge emphasis, but you got to show us our survivors, right? And so I'm sure that we'll get a teaser with focused on them a little bit more and some more art focused on them. We got a great art piece that I think went totally underrated and untalked about between, I think it was episode 6, right, with Who Are You Now? We got a great art piece with Judith and Daryl and Michonne and Carol. I may have used it as a thumbnail for one of my other videos or something like that, or talked about it at least. But it's a great piece of art. I love that art that they made for it. It's kind of like similar to the Lord of the Rings a little bit, with their faces kind of all organized in this kind of long, tall kind of what am I trying to say here? You know, wallpaper, I guess. And Judith is kind of at the center of it at the bottom. So, anyways, you know, if you haven't seen it, maybe just search Walking Dead Season 9 art, Judith, maybe, and it'll probably come up. But I love that piece. So I'm sure we'll get something similar to that in Season 9 second half. Or at least, you know, before it happens, right, in maybe January. And it's interesting, too, this it's coming back February 10th, which I believe is 2 weeks earlier than last year. So that's interesting. It also means that it will not even be going into April. March 31st is the last episode of The Walking Dead Season 9. So, yeah, a little bit different, but I'm okay with it. Getting it a little bit sooner, so so that's all good. So, anyways, now let's get to a couple other topics here. You know, just talking about kind of general stuff. These are just things that I thought, you know, would be worth talking about. So, first is Maggie's future in the series. And, of course, this one's been a heavily debated topic ever since the summer Comic-Con. Of course, Andrew Lincoln was the main focus, right, that he was leaving. But also, we got an announcement that Lauren Cohan was also leaving, and that she would be in 6 episodes of Season 9. Turns out that she's only been in 5. And so, of course, that in itself is another discussion in if she is going to return in Season 9, because it was originally announced that she was going to be in 6 episodes, not 5. And so that's a question, too. Will she be in the Season 9 second half at any point? My prediction is no. If it is, I think she'll be in the the season finale, if I had to guess. You know, if she would be in 1 episode, I think it would be that one. You know, maybe she just makes like a little appearance at the end. But again, that doesn't seem to quite match up with the timelines here, especially because the main issue that she's leaving the show is that she's doing another show and that she's filming for it. And so that doesn't really match, because I believe, you know, Season 9 finale they would have filmed not too long ago. And she has already been filming now with this pilot not too long ago. So, anyways, but again, I mean, she could take a week off of this pilot and, you know, go for a couple scenes, you know, for The Walking Dead. Yeah, it's possible. But anyways, so that's a whole nother discussion. But also, what I want to talk about is her future in this series. So, just last week, we got an announcement of her Whiskey Cavalier coming February 27th, I believe, on ABC. And, of course, I believe it's a 13-episode runtime. Yeah, I believe. Or is it a 10? I think it's either 10 or 13-episode runtime. And so that means I'm not sure if they're done filming. I would think that they're maybe filming now. Because usually network shows, they don't, you know, they're still filming as the show goes on a little bit into the season, or at least that's what I've seen before. So anyways, so she's probably filming Whiskey Cavalier right now, is her show, and we got the, you know, the date for it. So I just thought it'd be worth talking about her future in the series. And it's definitely interesting, and it's definitely a topic that needs to be explored. You know, a couple of weeks ago, or maybe 3 or maybe even a month ago, it was released that Angela Kang has already, you know, started developing Season 10. They've already kind of gotten together and talked about what they want to do for it. And within that, she wanted to, you know, plan for Maggie's return. And so she was kind of planning for Maggie's return in Season 10, and that was kind of big news there. So that's interesting. So obviously, Angela Kang and AMC, you know, The Walking Dead, they want Maggie back, Lauren Cohan back for Season 10. And it's just, you know, is she going to be back? You know, does she want to do that? Is she going to be able to? And one big thing that I think a lot of people are kind of grazing over here is that this Whiskey Cavalier, so it's coming out February 27th, about a 10 to 13 episode runtime, whichever. If this show does well, even if just this pilot and the first couple episodes do well, definitely I could see ABC ordering a full season of Whiskey Cavalier, because it's that type of show. It's kind of, you know, a mission a week type of thing, right? They're I believe they're spies. Scott Foley and her are spies in the show. They're characters, and that's perfect format for a show to have, you know, tons of episodes, because again, it's a mission a week type of thing, and those shows have always done pretty well in the past with these full season orders. So let's say ABC, and especially in February too, there's not a lot of stuff there on for the rest of the winter season, especially on ABC. That I've seen so far, there hasn't been a lot of other stuff on their schedule yet. And so for that reason, again, I think there's a good chance, especially the pilot and the first couple episodes get some good ratings, good viewership, this could get a full season order. And you know, with a full season order, that is going to be tough for Maggie to be, even in the first half of Season 10, I would say, the entire half. Because think about that. You know, that's about 22 episodes then, a full season order. Or they can go a little bit less. They can go to a 16, which I think may be more likely. So let's say a 16. Either way, she's still got to go back and film then 3 or even 7 more episodes, or 9 more episodes for this season. And she really can't be 2 places at once. So she can't film, if they get to this full season order, she has to go back, film more episodes for Whiskey Cavalier. She's not going to be able to be in The Walking Dead, and I believe they start shooting, is it March or February? I'm not totally sure, but sometime around there for season 10. Or maybe a little bit later, maybe April or something like that. But anyways, the way it all coincides is going to be very tough for Lauren Cohan to be in the first half of season 10. Even just the way it's looking without a full season order, it's looking a little tough. So, I don't know. To be honest, right now, I think it's more likely that she comes in after the Whisperers arc is over in The Walking Dead, and whether that is season 10, mid-season finale, or the end of season 10, which I don't know. I mean, that's another topic too, is when's the Whisperer arc going to end? Good question, right? We don't know. The Saviors arc went for like 2.5, 2 and, a quarter seasons. So, who knows with this Whisperer arc. But yeah, so I really think it's the most likely situation here is that she actually returns after the Whisperers are done with, because I really find it unlikely that she's going to come back for the first half of season 10, which is unfortunate. I love Maggie's character, and I think the first 5 episodes of season 9, she was the main focus besides Rick. And, great arc for her as a leader of the Hilltop now. And then all of a sudden, she just disappeared in episode 5. No goodbyes were said. No exit announcement or anything by The Walking Dead, which I wasn't too happy with. And a lot of other people weren't happy with. But so it's definitely up in the air, right, for her future, and, yeah, just tough the way she went out, and I'd love to see her back, as soon as possible. I'd love to see her in season 9, episode 9, but it's just, unfortunately, that's just not possible. So, again, will she make somewhat of an appearance in the next 8 episodes of season 9? It's possible, because, again, their initial reports were 6 episodes, so, that means that she has 1 episode left. So, could she make an appearance? I think yes. Chances of that, I'd probably put it at 40% that she does make an appearance like that, and 60% that she doesn't. So, still pretty high. But I don't think that she comes back as a main role in the show until probably the second half of season 10. Especially, and again, Whiskey Cavalier. Now, Whiskey Cavalier does bad. They don't get a full season order, and they don't get renewed. Yeah, then she's probably right back for, starting second half season 10. She's probably a series regular again. But, Whiskey Cavalier looks really good. I'm being honest. Like, it looks really good. As a Walking Dead fan, it's such a tough thing, too, because Walking Dead fans, we're huge fans of Lauren Cohan. We want to support her. But then we also want to see her back in The Walking Dead. So it's a really tough thing to balance, kind of wishing bad on her show so that she'd come back. But we also want to wish it good because we want her to do well. But anyways, so, yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. It all depends on how Whiskey Cavalier does. But I don't think we see her back as a series regular, or at least just back in general, until the second half of season 10. And then we can also talk about Whiskey Cavalier gets renewed. Whew, we're in deep water then, because I don't think she will be coming back as a series regular, at least until season 11. I mean, it's really interesting, and she's a main role in Whiskey Cavalier. It's not like she's going to die off in one of these episodes and then she'll be right back. No. So, it's a really tough place right now for Maggie's future, and I think any answer is right at this point because we really don't know. But, yeah, so those are my guesses. I think if Whiskey Cavalier, does well to get a full season order or something like that, second half of season 10 is probably the soonest we're going to see Maggie. And unless it gets canceled, I don't think she's going to be a series regular till probably at least season 11, which is just unfortunate. It'd be great to see her in the Whisperer War and the Whisperer arc coming up, but I just don't think we will, period. I don't think she will be in it. So, but, we got some great characters, right? You got, of course, Ezekiel, Carol, Michonne, Daryl. The main players are still around, and it would be great to see them with Whispers. So, you know what? A little bit of give and take there, I suppose. But anyways, let me know what you think of that stuff, and I really suggest you watch Whiskey Cavalier. I'm definitely going to check it out. William Tyler James, Noah from The Walking Dead, is also in it. He's great, and so I'm really hyped for it. Honestly, that cast sells me alone. I really wouldn't care what the show was. I'd probably watch it with that cast. So, anyways, there you go. Okay, so now on to the next topic here, second last one of the episode I want to talk about is Whisper spin-off possibilities. So this is something that I just thought of and I've been thinking of for, last couple of weeks, especially now with this teaser and the art that has come out with all things Whispers, right? This is kind of something I've been thinking about. And I think a lot of fans have maybe been thinking about this too. Is the possibility that we see a Whisperer spinoff. And a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but some people were talking about Fear the Walking Dead, being that, lead up to the Whisperers, and that group from Fear the Walking Dead actually ends up being the Whisperers in The Walking Dead, and that Madison was Alpha. So there are a bunch of theories going around with that, and some people were actually, buying into that, but of course, that didn't happen. For one, Madison's no longer around, and two, Fear the Walking Dead caught up with The Walking Dead, and they're still not the Whisperers, so yeah, totally not possible. But anyways, that was an idea that was being thrown around, and so maybe that would have been the spin-off that we all wanted for the Whisperers, but no. And then there was some other stuff too about Fear the Walking Dead, of course, being the Commonwealth, stuff like this, so it'd be great to see that, but I doubt it. I doubt that's the way they're going. But anyways, so, with the Whisperers being such a dynamic group and so much to learn about them, and to find out about them too, like they're just such an interesting group, and so is Negan. And this goes back to the whole conversation about a Negan spinoff, how I would love to see that, and Shane and I talked about that in depth last episode, about Negan. We need a spinoff. Like, it's just something we need. He's such an interesting and dynamic character, and I think that really holds true to the Whisperers as well. And it's not just one character with the Whisperers. It's Alpha, it's Beta, it's Lydia. I mean, it's everyone in the Whisperers that we're going to meet here in the second half. And it's just the whole group. I mean, you don't even have to have those three in a spin-off thing to really capture what they are. I mean, we just want to know more about this group. But you know what? I think they are going to dive in a lot to it in the second half, especially, given that they've stressed it a lot with this art and this teaser and synopsis and everything. So maybe they will dive into it in detail and tell us and explain us this group of the Whisperers and how they came to be. But it'd be great to see it on screen too. And I don't think they do a flashback episode or anything like that, but that is something that would be great to see. And so for me, especially with this talk about the universe expanding and all this stuff with The Walking Dead, universe, Scott Gimple in charge of stuff now, this is something that I'd like to see. I mean, Shane and I were talking about this too with Negan, Dwight even spinoff would be cool, to see him now returning in season 9, hopefully. Just tons of possibilities, but I think the Whisperers need to be added to that list of possibilities. I'd be happy with just a web series or something like that, something similar to the Red Machete, especially running during, the run of the season 9 second half. Obviously, if it's not in motion now, it probably didn't happen, but maybe even then in season 10 to see something like that, like the Red Machete, like these little clips during commercial breaks of the episodes running, and then eventually they all, hook up and it becomes a big, 10-15 minute web series. That'd be awesome. That'd be great to see for the Whisperers, and that's something that would be great for the fans. Maybe not the casual fans, they probably just skip over it, but for hardcore fans, like me and, probably like you guys watching, it'd be something great to see. I think we'd all love it, especially comic book readers would love to see the origins kind of story of the Whisperers. And it'd be just great. So, a web series, a mini series, a movie they could even do. I don't know that they'd want to, put a big budget towards this. But anyways, something to see how this happened, how these people resorted to what they do, and walking among the dead is something that would be amazing to see. And so, I just think it's something that they really should do. I'm not sure that they will, but it's something that they really should do, because the Whisperers, again, such a dynamic group, and I think there definitely be the demand for a spinoff. Now, again, which way it goes, what am I trying to think here? What medium, I guess, what medium, I guess, they choose to display Origins or a spin-off is up to them, but I'm really happy to see whatever they come up with, because it'd be great. It honestly would be awesome. So, anyways, I really hope we see that. But again, add that to my list of possibilities for the universe expansion here in the next decade. That's what they say, the next decade. So they're going to have to come up with a lot of different spin-offs. And this is something that I would love to see. So anyways, let me know what your thoughts are on this one. And would you like to see this? And also, what way would you like to see this being made? Either a web series, a limited series, movie, something like that. And yeah, and what do you think about the whole Fear the Walking Dead theory and all that stuff that kind of fell apart on us? But anyways, so yeah, let me know that one. All right, so now let's get to the last topic of today's episode, and that is actually an interesting one about Fear the Walking Dead merging with The Walking Dead. And so this one, I mean, this has been the talk since, ever since they lined up the timelines, pretty much. I mean, ever since this whole crossover with Morgan, this has been talked about, right? The merging of Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead. And something interesting that happened this week was the comicbook.com article here, and I believe it was, yeah, so Fear the Walking Dead star, and sorry, when was this? So this was published 2 days ago, on Thursday as well, comicbook.com here, and the Fear the Walking Dead star Jenna Elfman, and she plays June on Fear the Walking Dead. And so this one was interesting because I believe she did some type of an interview there with comicbook.com and talking about the merger of The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead and what is the possibility of that. So this is the article. So, Fear the Walking Dead star Jenna Elfman believes the expansive cast of The Walking Dead makes a merger between the two series is unlikely. Well, and this is quote, well, I think if you merge the two shows, then you only have one show. So, there you go. Okay. And then she says, and I think that you can have one show with, like, that many characters. You'd have so many actors, you guys would be waiting weeks for a second scene between characters you love. So I don't know that becoming one show would even be what you guys want, because it's too much. You can't put that much into an hour. So, unquote. So that's her words. And you know what? That rings totally true. I mean, this is something that I've been harping on with Jesus' death, right? This is something that I've been really talking about. So, yeah, sorry, that's the comicbook.com article there. So that's something I've been harping on for, the last couple of weeks with Jesus' death. And that's exactly what happened with Season 7. Too many damn characters, right? Not enough screen time and too many damn characters. Is basically the result of how Jesus went so underdeveloped with the series, and even up to his death was very underdeveloped, except for literally his last scene in the show, which was perhaps maybe his best scene of the show. And really great death, by the way. I'm not knocking on that, but just the way his character was portrayed, especially comparing to the comic books, so disappointing, right? And so that's something I've been harping on with so many characters and not enough screen time, and that's the result of Season 7 with this new world where they just had so many people in at once, and that's again why you had so many bottle episodes as well. So, you know what? I think she has a good point here. Everyone's talking about, well, merge these two casts, this would be awesome. But she makes a good point. Maybe that's something that we actually don't want to see. Maybe that would just bring it back to more Season 7 type of stuff with way too many characters and not enough screen time. As she says, you can only put so much into an hour. So that is definitely an important thing to consider there before you think again that you want to see, Fear the Walking Dead characters in The Walking Dead. You want to see this merger. Well, think of that. Did you like Season 7? Did you like, not seeing characters for 2 or 3 episodes that you love? Maybe it does deserve to be a little bit rethought of there. And she makes a really good point. So, that in and itself is a very good point, and she then also says that it's unlikely that will happen. So, but I think an important thing, though, is she was asked the question, I think, under the assumption that the whole Fear the Walking Dead cast would come over, right, and merge with The Walking Dead. But I think what I would like to see, in at least in this discussion about merging, is I would love to see Morgan return back to The Walking Dead and bring along 2 characters maybe, right? Bring Alicia. Or not Alicia. That's the actress's name, Alicia. I'm trying to think of, oh, wow, I'm forgetting her character name. Damn. Anyway, so Alicia Devon Carey, who Wow, who does she play? Oh, Nick's sister, of course, in Fear the Walking Dead. But anyway, I don't know how I'm forgetting this. Anyway, so Alicia, the actress, her character. So bring Alicia's character. I mean, that is such a good character. I mean, that's one thing that'll get the Fear the Walking Dead, is they developed a great character in Alicia, and now they have Morgan, who is great, you know, one of the best characters in the Walking Dead original series. So, to me, I think you have to bring at least those two characters into The Walking Dead if Fear the Walking Dead is to end this season with season 5, and I think it should. I don't even think it should have got a season 5, but again, whole nother topic for another video. But I'm not too fond of Fear the Walking Dead, especially right now. Don't get me wrong. Earlier, yes, but not now. And so anyway, so I think if, you know, Fear the Walking Dead ends, I think you gotta merge Morgan, definitely Morgan at least, but also Alicia's character as well, because she's just such a dynamic character and so much to her. They've really gave her a lot of depth, and she's a character that I love to see in The Walking Dead, especially the way she would interact with the other characters is something that would be great to see. So anyways, in the fact of, you know, two shows merging together, like the complete cast of Fear the Walking Dead comes in, I don't think that would work. I agree with her. I don't think it would work. I think it'd be the exact same problem as season 7, probably even worse, because, you know, think about this. We still have a lot of characters in season 9. So it would probably be worth. But anyways, with Fear the Walking Dead, and I don't see this happening until Fear the Walking Dead ends, of course. But with the ending of season 5 of the Fear the Walking Dead, which hopefully will be the last, but we'll see. That's my opinion. Hopefully will be the last. Hopefully at the end of that season, maybe we will see some of this cast get, you know, killed off, or, you know, something, or else, or they just leave or something like that. And then we see Alicia's character, Morgan, and maybe a couple other main ones, you know, come into the Walking Dead show, and we do this kind of re-crossover bit, and then we end Fear the Walking Dead, and we bring the best of the best characters from Fear over into the Walking Dead. That is, I think, the perfect solution to this issue. Well, it's not even really an issue, but it's, you know, it's a perfect, you know, situation, right? If we can see that. And I just love to see that. I don't know about you guys. That's just my opinion. I mean, and I'd love to ask Shane this one too, talk about this one with him, to see his thoughts, because he's not quite caught up with Fear, but he's a big fan of Alicia's character too. So, you know, it's something definitely that we will see, I think, in the next year. I think definitely going to be a lot more talk about this, some rumors going around, and I think it's cool that comicbook.com actually posed this question to her, and that was her reaction. She said it's very unlikely. So, again, but she's going on the assumption that the whole cast would come over, and she's on the assumption that season 5 won't be the last season of Fear, and it could not be. I hope it is, but it could not be. I mean, this show could go on for as many as The Walking Dead, you know, technically. So, you know, we'll have to see. But at the end of the day, you got to bring Morgan back eventually, and you got to bring Alicia's character back as well. But to, you know, good God, Fear the Walking Dead, imagine it without those two, though, right? So I really don't see this merger happening until Fear the Walking Dead is finally ended. Anyways, and of course, a lot of stuff with Fear the Walking Dead to talk about. Maybe in the next episode, we'll talk a little bit about this, with season 5. Are they now going to, line up the timelines again now with The Walking Dead after the big time skip in, the original series? So that's another topic maybe that we'll talk about next episode, for next week's, Walker Talk. But anyways, guys, that'll just about do it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that one with the merger, especially if you're caught up with both shows and, you've seen Fear the Walking Dead season 4. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that one, honestly. I mean, I don't think I would be alone, but I think some people might think differently about this whole merger thing and wanting to see Fear end and when it should end and how it should end and all that stuff. But I think a lot of Walking Dead fans would agree that you'd love to see Morgan back in the original series, right? That would be something that would be great to see. So, yeah, really great stuff there. That is our last topic for today's episode. So now let's get to the question of the week. So this is something that I pose to you guys, and also if I have a guest on here, and we will do a question of the week or a question of the episode, and I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this one too. It's usually just a really general question about the series, not specifically about current stuff that's going on. All right, let's get to this week's question. Which character from either series, so either Fear the Walking Dead or The Walking Dead, would you like to see in the Rick movies? So, it's a very open question. any character really would do. I'd love to hear, your maybe theory on how it would happen too. That would be great to hear, how you think, for example, I don't know, Dwight, for example, how would he enter into the movies and how would that, come to happen? Love to hear your guys' thoughts. For me, my answer to this one is Morgan. And I think a lot of people would kind of agree if you think about this a little bit more too. Really kind of rack your brain around this. I think Morgan is a must. Especially because AMC, which I don't believe this, but AMC is saying Andrew Lincoln's never coming back to the original series. He will not be back. Rick Grimes is done in the series, which I don't believe. I think Andrew Lincoln will come back at the end of the series. But anyways, so assuming that Rick does not come back, that means that him and Morgan will never, reunite. And it just seems natural that Morgan and Rick will have to reunite at some point before the show is over, before the universe is over. It has to happen, right? The pilot begins, Morgan and Rick. It has to end the same way. And I think if they do that, I mean, that's going to be so effective. I'm kind of just getting chills thinking about an ending where Morgan finds Rick. I mean, if we think about the end of season 5, the finale, when Morgan finds Rick, I mean, that is maybe, I'm getting chills right now talking about it. I mean, that is one of the biggest chilling moments of the series for me, is when Morgan finally finds Rick again. And I mean, and even then in season 3, here, not here's not here. What is, season 3, what is it called? Anyways, the season 3 episode 12 episode, where he finds Morgan. So that's a chilling moment as well. But, this is something that we have to see. Rick's movies, I don't know how the hell it would happen, but I gotta see Morgan. Maybe in the third one even. I mean, maybe. And the timelines of everything, too, will all be mixed up. And it really depends what they do with Fear the Walking Dead Season 5. If they do this time skip, then we could definitely maybe see Morgan in these movies. It would actually make sense. So, you know what? My answer would be Morgan. I think you have to have him and Rick reunite at least somehow. Whether it's in these movies or at the end of the very end of the series, in the last episode or something. I think it's something that you have to see, and I'd love to see him in the movies. Of course, there's a lot of other characters, that I just love to see because I love the characters, but this is something that just makes sense to me, and something that I'd love to see on the screen. But yeah, some of the other characters, of course, Dwight is going to be interesting to see, and I mean, chances are he may actually be in the movies. Of course, we're probably going to see Jadis in the first one. That's been confirmed. Heath, I don't think that's been confirmed, but a lot of people are kind of thinking that. And, of course, we'll get a whole set of new characters in these movies to go along with Rick. So, anyways, let me know what you want to see in these Rick movies and which character from either series would you like to see in these movies. My pick would be Morgan, but a lot of other good characters out there. So, anyways, guys, I'll just about wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in live. Really do appreciate it. And also thank you for tuning in afterwards, too. Definitely leave your comment on all the stuff I talked about in this one. Questions, all that stuff we'll answer next episode. Hopefully I'll have a guest on with me next episode. Either Shane or, someone else, or Shane and someone else. Hopefully we get even, more people on Walker Talk, and just love talking about Walking Dead. Of course, it's the off season right now, so, not a lot of stuff to talk about every week, but it is something that we all enjoy doing together. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching Walker Talk Episode 2, and, yeah, hopefully we'll be back with, kind of a more traditional, episode next week. But anyways, guys, again, thank you so much for watching this one. Let me know what your thoughts are on all this stuff, and second half of Season 9 of The Walking Dead. It's looking good. I'm hyped after all this stuff. So anyways, guys, again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week, Friday evening, for Walker Talk Episode 3. Thanks, guys.